All right. Hey, what's your name?
Hey, I'm David. I go by Ildes, originally from Chicago, but I'm based in Atlanta, Georgia.
All right. Awesome. ATL.
Yeah.
Cool, cool. And where are we today?
We're in Miami for Art Basel week, and this is Wynwood. And it's a pleasure to be here. I've been coming for the last 2 years, so this is my 3rd year in Art Basel.
See, everybody's honking at it and they're trying to holler.
Yeah, right?
Your 3rd year of Art Basel?
3rd year Art Basel, yeah. Last year I went hard. I stayed for 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Did 7 murals. Slept in my car.
How many murals did you do last year?
7 murals.
Oh, yeah. Wow. And you slept in your car?
Yeah, the whole
Dang, real artist life.
2 weeks straight, yeah.
Did you start to, like, did your back start to hurt at all after all that?
A little bit, yeah. I was in between there and a hostel, but yeah, it was we roughed it out for 2 weeks, but it was probably the best 2 weeks of my life, yeah.
Oh, that's
really
awesome.
Yeah.
And who'd you come with last year?
I came by myself. Pharaoh was there too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. Yeah, Pharaoh worked on that wall already, all right?
Yeah.
This was all you, right, on this one?
This one was all me, yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And then do you paint with a lot of the similar color palettes? I haven't gotten to look too much at your paintings, or are they all?
These are some that I had from leftover at another mural that I did in Atlanta. Just some leftover paint that I've done through a couple different ones, but mostly like grayscales. I'll choose a couple different colors that I roll with.
Okay, and do you do murals and canvas stuff, or is it all murals?
A little bit of both. Yeah, I've been these past few months have been mostly all murals in Atlanta, which is like kind of what I'm trying to gear towards more, like try to progress towards, and I'd like to do that full time rather than end up doing a little bit of both. But
so you're heading towards murals full time?
I'd like to do murals full time. Yeah, right now it's a little bit of both. But
what makes murals better than canvases to you?
I like being outside. I like being able to like work on a larger scale.
Yeah, I mean this is awesome.
I mean it's so much more fun. It's a full body workout. Like you're
climbing the ladder.
It gets boring sometimes, getting stuck in the studio at times, not getting outside. So being able to be out here and interact with everybody that stops by, and that's a big thing, big part of it too. So,
nice. Do you think murals are more social? I mean, like when you're in your studio, unless you invite somebody over,
for sure. I mean, you have people just walking by, just average people like coming up asking you questions about the process and your art, and you end up getting new followers and new people like fans of your work, and it's cool to be able to interact with people, and a lot of people are really appreciative to bringing that kind of stuff to the community. So
that's awesome.
It's cool to be a part of that. Yeah.
All right, and then how did you start doing art? Were you like always an artist since you're growing up?
Yeah, I've been drawing ever since I was a kid. I got into painting maybe about 5 years ago. I only picked up a spray paint can about a year ago.
What?
Like, yeah.
Dang.
So it was.
Wow, fast learner.
Yeah, like it's coming down here, and last year I forced myself just to buy a bunch. I came down with a bunch of like acrylic paints and latex house paints, and Mastro was like, no, like go to the store, go buy spray paint, like, don't touch a brush all week. Yeah, and that's what I did. And like I got to be around some of the best graffiti artists in the world, and got to watch them work, and picked up a couple tips here and there from them, and just forced myself to learn it. It's just another tool.
That's great. So do you see yourself on murals in the future using only spray paint, or do you think you'll still sometimes use latex?
Never.
Never again latex. Never again.
It's just so much work. Like, especially on a brick wall, going at it with a brush, it gets really aggravating. It's a lot easier with spray paint for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. And then where do you find your inspiration?
My inspiration comes from a lot of different outlets. Definitely like op art is really inspiring. Like a lot of like op artists.
Okay.
I draw from like a lot of the op art movement from like the 1920s.
Okay. Give me an example. Who's an artist from that point?
One of my favorites is Victor Vasarely, Franco Grigiani. All great op artists. Like some of them that kind of started the whole op art movement.
Do you have like quite a few books on those guys, or do you just kind of look online?
Yeah, I have some books, just stuff that I found online. I follow their work.
Nice.
Yeah, like this.
Dang, what did those guys do back then without Instagram?
I don't know. They were crushing it though. They were doing it, and they weren't really necessarily doing murals or anything like that. Mostly the canvas works, but they were doing like huge paintings here and there. And
dang.
I mean, they essentially created what op art is today. So it's cool to be able to study that and take it and add it to your own style, and it's all about making your own style with it.
Okay, and then what do you see as like your biggest opportunity or challenge, depending on how you look at it, as being an artist now and in the future?
Biggest challenging is just keeping that momentum going and just challenging yourself to never just kind of stick to one thing. Like, it's all about progressing as an artist and pushing your limits and boundaries of what you're not comfortable with, and trying to create new things and grow as an artist. That's the biggest thing I want to keep doing, is just having fun with it and seeing where it takes me. So
that's great. It's fun to learn.
Yeah, definitely.
What's the farthest you've gotten to travel so far with art?
I've painted murals in Vienna, Austria. That's probably the furthest I've painted. So.
How'd you get there?
I was on vacation. Like, I went there to hang out with family, and once I was down there, I found that I could buy some spray paint, and like it was like a free-for-all down in like Vienna. Like, anybody can go and paint. So we bought some spray paint, did a quick little 2-day mural out there, and
that's awesome.
That was probably
a good way to use a vacation.
Yeah, for sure. I was still pretty new at using spray paint. So
do you have some fans in Vienna then, you think?
Maybe. I don't know, like, I've got cousins out there who are definitely my fans. So
that's cool.
They definitely support it, and yeah. No, eventually I'd like to start traveling abroad and getting definitely doing more murals out there for sure. That's a big goal of mine.
That's awesome. It's so much fun to be able to travel with your work or with your art.
That's the best part about it. Yeah.
Meet new people, keep traveling. All right. What do you think? What do you feel like you're conveying with your work or with your artist, with being an artist? What do you like to convey?
A lot of my paintings are surrounded by like finding that balance between like chaos and order. Kind of finding it's all finding like equilibrium between like color and the aesthetic of it, and it relates to your life as well. Like trying to. And a lot of my stuff ended up being almost like a mandala in a sense, and creating just that flow through a painting, and letting it, relate back to your life in a sense like that as well.
That's awesome. Yeah. Okay. Well, anything else you want to say? Any shout outs?
Shout out to all the homies that painted out here, and Apex Collective. Everybody's been holding it down here, and we've been having a great time. I look forward to the rest of the weekend. So.
All right. Thank you, David.
Yeah, appreciate it.
And then, okay, one last extra question. Yeah. Tell me about how the Apex Collective got started, / how did you end up in it?
Jake started it, Jake Amazon, and he's been doing it for probably the last 5 years or so. He got Steven was one of the first people on it, Zach Jackson. And they asked me to be a part of it earlier this year. I came out, I flew out to Denver. They had me out for an event with Fratu, and they were doing a 20-foot mural collab. And while I was down there, they asked me to be a part of it. So I've probably flown out to Denver at least 5-6 times since then this year, and I go out there and we paint for a week straight and end up painting like 7 different paintings, and it's
and those are on canvas most of the time?
Yeah, mostly on canvas. We'll start a bunch and we'll finish some, and then like next time I come back we'll work on those ones again and start some new ones. And so
and so is that like, are y'all both working on it at the same time? Do like one of you go and then one of you go?
Well, that's why we'll start like so many at a time.
I see.
That way like each of us can be working on a painting, and then we'll like get to a stopping point, and then we'll switch. And I think collaboration is the biggest key to it, and it helps.
To Apex Collective, or to being an artist, or
both. I mean, that's kind of our motto, is like collaborations is key, and it makes you grow as an artist, and it challenges you to see things in a different way that you normally wouldn't, and it forces you to be able to like kind of blend your styles in with another artist, and be able to be respectful of each artist and of their own, trust each other's creative process, and be able to blend them to create something that neither of you probably would have been able to do on your own. So it's a cool concept for sure.
Awesome. Can't wait to keep see what you keep creating.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.